Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Ashley, which is Ashley's Media Addiction, and it's time for another round of my new TBR game, which is Get Me to the Show. So there's 5 different prompts I can get. There is a music prompt where I get a random music artist and need to choose a song and a book that fits that. Then have a goals one, which is specifically for books I've bought in 2024 and my Christmas books. Pink prompts are just general. M for mood read, and then B, which is the blue one, is for Bookemon prompts. So this month there is 2 books I need to get in. I need to get in the 3rd book in the Hitchhiker's Guide series. I'm reading that along with some co-hosts. I will link them all down below. And I also need to read These Violent Delights because it's for my book club. So I need to add them in somewhere, which is fine. And I'm also taking part in Roll of Reads, but I'm only going to be doing Mel's prompts because I just can't seem to make a board. And so yeah, I am going to be taking part from her prompts, but I am still taking part in the readathon, and when I do my books I will tell you what that is for. But yeah, before we decide whether I'm getting a punishment or if the game's just going forward, in terms of punishments, I only add in like a sticker over one of the prompts, which means if I land on that one sticker, then I have to read a book from a failed TBR. So just very nice, simple, nothing too scary about punishment either though. But let's take a look what my thing was in February. Let's see if I get punishment or if I'm good to go. So the first thing I got last month was fantasy, which was a pink prompt. And so I chose Amber Spyglass by Philip Pullman because it's for my book club. I have not read it yet. I am partway through. I'm about 200 pages in. Chances are I probably won't finish this before the end of the month, but I only read one book at a time. So I know for a fact I will finish this before I start my March TBR. So yeah, this counts as a win for me. After this, we had a goal, and for this one I chose K-Pop Confidential by Stephen Lee. I'm 100% confident I read this. I loved this. It's my first 5-star book of the year. Yeah, great job for me. Definitely recommend. Next up, we had Catnip. So this was a Bookemon prompt, and I had to read a book with a cat. I read The Midnight Guardians by Ross Montgomery. I did read this one. This one was actually a lot better than I was expecting it to be. I really do think Ross Montgomery might be becoming a favourite middle grade author for me. Next up, we had TXT for the group, for the music prompt, and for that I put my music on shuffle. It came up with Happily Ever After. So for this one I read The Princess Game by Simona Chinani. I'm not sure if I've said their name right, but yeah, I did read this one. And then finally we had Acorn, which was another Bookemon prompt, and this was to read a popular book. And so I read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is the first book in the series. I did read this one. I also read the second one. There is a live show which is on my channel if you want to hear all our thoughts about the second book. So yeah, that was definitely a win for my part. I'm so happy about that. So yeah, let's go in with my rolls. Let's hope they're nice to me this month, especially because I'm going down to London, so I do need to add in an ebook somewhere along here. So yeah, let's go to roll number 1. Roll number 1, that is a 3. 1, 2, 3, which is a pink prompt, and we have book box. So the first prompt that I did get was book box, which is just a general prompt. I actually had the perfect idea for what I want to read for this. Is one that I've been kind of hoping to get on a TBR recently, so I'm glad I did manage to get it in, and that is Familiar Things by Hwang Sok-young. So this book is from one of Korea's most celebrated writers apparently. I've obviously not heard of them. I'm not from Korea, but I do like reading about Korea. So yeah, I think this one will be good, but just kind of let you guys know what this book's about because chances are you have not heard of it before, and that's fine. So it says, when 14-year-old Bug-Eye and his mother arrive at Flower Island, a vast landfill site on the outskirts of Seoul, they soon become part of the eclectic community of impoverished outskirts. They soon become part of the eclectic community of impoverished impoverished outsiders who make their living reading recyclables from the rubbish. Then one night, Bug-Eye notices mysterious lights dancing around the landfill. Could it be the island's ancient spirits? Is his luck about to change? Familiar Things depicts a society on the edge of dizzying economic and social change. It's a haunting reminder to us to be careful of what we throw away. So this one is also translated. I have no idea what to expect from this. It is quite short. It's about 200 pages, but I'm looking forward to delving into this one. Also, in terms of Mel's readathon to be rolled, this counts for me because I have been to Korea, and it says on the outskirts of Seoul, and I've definitely been to Seoul. So yeah, I can fit this one in for roll of reads as well, which I love. Let's go to roll number 2. Roll number 2. That is a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a goals and targets. So roll number 2 was one that I'm so excited about because it is a goals one. So I just need to read a book I've picked up this year, or a Christmas book, and I knew the exact book I was choosing, and that was K-Pop Revolution. So this is the second book in the K-Pop Confidential books, and it is only a duology, so I'm so excited to see how this one does continue. So basically we are following Candace, who is a K-pop trainee, and she's an American Korean, and she goes to Seoul, and it's all about her life basically being a trainee and trying to debut. However, there is scandals, there is just the brutality of the sort of training schemes, etc. But I just completely fell in love with it. It was a 5-star for the first book. I'm looking forward to getting to this one. I don't know where this one's going to go, but I'm excited. For this one as well, I'm going to choose the pretty cover prompt for a roll of reads. For me, this is actually really pretty. I also really love the unicorn. So yeah, definitely choosing that for this one. I'm so happy I managed to get this one in. So let's go to roll number 3. Roll number 3. Again, a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is blue, which is a Bookemon prompt. So we have Bomb, read a hard-hitting book. Roll number 3 gave me something I wasn't quite expecting, which was Bomb. So this one is to read a hard-hitting book. So I had to have a think about this, and I've decided to pick something up from my NetGalley. So for my NetGalley books, I've not really been reading them as much as I should be, so it seemed like the perfect time. And I'm going to read a book called A Sense of Something Lost by Sue Wells. So this is like a memoir biography sort of book, and it is basically about a woman who has been forced to put her child up for adoption, I believe, and it's basically about the trauma of that and how to get back to normal life after living such trauma. So that screams that's going to be hard hitting for me. I really don't know how this is going to make me feel overall. It sounds like it's going to be a really tough read, but it sounds like it'll be one that is important to kind of understand how different communities and how different people live and their circumstances. So I've never read anything like this before. I think it'll be a good idea for me to really understand that side of life as well. So yeah, I'm going to choose this one for my hard-hitting book. Let's go to roll number 4. Roll 4. 2. 1, 2. So this is just a mood read. Roll number 4 gave me a mood read. So that works well for me. However, I do need to choose it now. And I know you're kind of going, how is that a mood read? Because I get to choose any book that's screaming out to me on my shelves, or I've just been really in the mood for reading at the moment. And this one has just been screaming at me for a couple months. So I'm glad I can get that one in. And that is Good Girls Die First. So this one is a YA thriller. I said it's been screaming to me, so I'm really happy I can finally get this one in. And this one just says, the night began with blackmail. 8 o'clock, Portgrave Pier, can you keep a secret? 10 teenagers lure to a derelict carnival, each one with a dark past they're determined to keep hidden. As they start to die, it's an unknown killer that they need to fear, or each other. Mind games, murder, mayhem. How far would you go to survive the night? So that really doesn't give me anything as well, which is why I did read the back. I know with thrillers I try not to, but this one really doesn't give anything really away. I'm looking forward to this. It should be just a nice quick read as well. It is YA thriller, and yeah, this has been screaming at me. I really have been looking at Catherine Foxfield's other work as well, when I've been in bookshops, but I've never picked them up because I want to see what her writing's like first. So I'm excited to get to this one. With that though, let's go to roll number 5. Roll 5. 2, 1, 2, which is another blue. So this time round we have ladder, book the hierarchical system. So roll number 5 gave me the prompt for ladder, which was a Bookemon prompt. So this one is a book with a hierarchical system. I don't know if this one does. I am hoping it does though, and that is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. So I need to read this one anyway for my book club, but it sounds like it does, so I'm counting it. So it says, the year is 1926, and Shanghai hums with the tune of debauchery. A blood feud between two gangs runs the streets red, leaving the cities in chaos. Juliet Kai is a proud heir, and that's why I thought so, because if she's an heir, then surely there's a hierarchical system. Let me know. Heir of the Scarlet Gang, a network of criminals above the law. Roma Montagov is a prodigal son of his greatest rivals, the White Flowers, who fought with Scarlets over the generations. He's also Juliet's first love and first betrayal. When a deadly madness strikes gangsters on both sides, the people start to whisper of contagion and a monster in the shadows, and as the deaths stack up, Juliet and Roma must set aside their guns and grudges aside and work together. For if they can't stop the mayhem, there'll be no city left to rule. So it says that for them like ruling, it says that there's an heir. I'm counting it. I believe that means that there's hierarchical system in here. So yeah, I'm actually really excited for this. This is also a Romeo and Juliet retelling. So it's going to be my first retelling of Romeo and Juliet. So I'm excited to get to this one. But yeah, let's go on to the next roll. Roll 6. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, this is another goals. Okay, roll number 6. I got another goals video. So I keep saying goals video. I mean goals prompt. But for this is one I wanted to read last month if I had the chance. I never had the chance to read it. That's fine by me. But I'm going to choose it now, and that is Shanghai Immortal by A.Y. Chow. So I don't really know too much about this. It looks absolutely stunning though. And I know it is a fantasy book. So let me just tell you what this one says. It is a debut apparently. So it says, half vampire, half fox spirit, all trouble. Pawned by her mother to the king of hell as a child, Lady Jing is half vampire, half Halajung fox spirit and all sasshole. As the king's ward, she has spent the past 90 years running errands, dodging the taunts of the spiteful Halajung courtiers and trying to control her explosive temper while varying levels of success. So when Jing overhears the courtiers plotting to steal priceless dragon pearl from the king, she seizes her chance to expose them once and for all. With the help of a gentleman mortal tasked with setting up the central bank of hell, Jing embarks on a wild chase for intel, first through hell and then mortal Shanghai. But when her hijinks put the mortal in danger, she must decide which is more important, avenging her loss of face or letting go of her half-empty approach to life for a chance to experience tenderness and maybe even love. So yeah, this one also says that this richly told adult fantasy debut teams with Chinese deities and demons, coveting in Jazz Age Shanghai. But yeah, I'm excited to get to this one anyway. It just screams like a good time. And not me just realising that so far near enough all of my books are set in Asia. That was not the plan, guys. That was not the plan. But yeah, let's see if we have another roll. Roll 7. 1. Another blue. So we have Teddy Bear. Read a happy feel-good book. Okay, roll number 7. This is starting to build up a little bit. Which is kind of annoying. Can't believe I got a 1. Okay, so we got Teddy Bear. So this one is to read a happy feel-good book. For this one, I am actually going to choose Life... I don't know, what's this one called? Life, the Universe and Everything by Douglas Adams. Now, I don't know how happy this next one's going to be, but these books have made me laugh, they've made me smile. So I'm actually going to choose this because it actually makes me feel good. So yeah, I'm going to read this one. It should be a nice easy one. I need to read it anyway for the live show, so it just makes sense for me to add this in while I can. So with that, let's hope this is my last roll. Let's go. Roll 8. 3. Really? 1, 2, 3. It's another goals. Okay, so roll number 8 wasn't my last roll. That is so frustrating. But I did get another goals, so we love that for me. For this one though, because Roll of Reads there is a pet pick, I'm going to choose 4 of my books and I'm going to let my dog decide which one I should read. So let's cut over to him and let's see what he chooses for me. Okay, so I'm going to let my dog choose which book to read. Ty, choose. Choose one. Well, it seems my dog has chosen 4 Seasons in Japan. Okay, so my dog clearly sniffed all of the treats first. He really wanted to have a look, see which one he wanted to choose. I love that he does that. He just looks at them all. He doesn't just go straight for one. He's like, not that one, not that one, this one. He does think about it. So yeah, with this one though, I'm reading 4 Seasons in Japan by Nick Bradley. Another one set in Asia. I think I've got primarily Asian TBR. I am not angry about this at all. I'm just very, very surprised by it more than anything else. So again, this is not one that I really know anything about. This one just screamed to me when I was in the bookshop. I really just think this cover is so pretty and the vibrant colours really pulled me in. So yeah, let's actually take a look to see what this one is actually about. I also like taking a quick look, and no, it's just an orange. So Flo is sick of Tokyo, suffering from a crisis in confidence. She is stuck in a rut, her translation work has dried up, and she's in a relationship that's run its course. That's until she stumbles upon a mysterious book left by a fellow passenger on the Tokyo subway. From the very first page, Flo is transformed and immediately feels compelled to translate this forgotten novel, a decision which sets her on a path that will change her life. It's a story about Ayako, a fierce and strict old woman who runs a coffee shop in the small town of Onomiki, where she's just taken guardianship of her grandson, Kaio. Haunted by long-buried family tragedy, both have suffered extreme loss and feel unable to open up to each other. As Flo follows the characters across a year in rural Japan through the ups and downs of the pair's burgeoning relationship, she quickly realises that she needs to venture outside the pages of the book and to track down its elusive author. And as the two protagonists reveal themselves to have more in common with their life than first meets the eye, the lines between the text and translator coverage, the journey is just the beginning. So it just sounds so sweet. This is going to be a really nice book, I think. I have no idea what to expect. But yeah, it should be a good one for me. As I said, it's another one set in Asia. I don't really know what's happened to my TBR this month. I did give my dog ones that weren't set in Asia, except from this one. So he just clearly saw that my TBR had a theme and decided to go for it. So let's actually see if I do have another roll after this. Let's go. And what I'm really hoping is my last roll. 5, yeah. And we are at the show. I'm so happy we're here. I finished! I finally finished my game. I can't believe I had 8 rolls this month. That is so disheartening. But I am excited for every single one of these books. I feel like I've had a really good run with these. But this is looking massive. This is so much bigger than I was expecting it to be. I also have my ebook on top of this, and then I have to read the rest of the Amber Spyglass. So this is going to be a big TBR. But with looking forward to reading all of them, hopefully it will make it a lot faster to get through all of these. And I do have a mix of genres there as well. But have you read any of these books? If so, what are your thoughts on them? I'd love to hear all of your thoughts. But yeah, that's everything for me. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.